Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it is politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on today's conversation, you won't believe who has created his own political party. Any guess? He happens to be the wealthiest man in the world. He changed Twitter into one letter. What else? He has a very popular electric vehicle company that a lot of folks has returned since he's been kind of in charge of positions in the White House that he shouldn't. Well, he's no longer in position of that now, but he's one half of the infamous the whiny crew that's back and forth. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk has announced recently that he has started his own political party. I believe it's called the America Party. I'll talk a little more about it later on in the show, but this is just another edition of his temper tantrum against Donald Trump, because he's trying to start a party that can be somewhat of a threat to the Republican Party as well as the Democratic Party. So we'll talk a little more about that later on in the show. Also, one of my all-time favorite singers, Lauryn Hill, is in the news again, not for the good, in my opinion. So she was one of the headliners at this year's Essence Festival. Now, this year's Essence Festival has been having so many different headlines prior to when it had first started. So you first had one of their big sponsors, Target, who, by the way, black folks are protest, not just black folks, but folks that are pro DEI have been protesting Target because of their stances on diversity, equity, inclusion. Mega Pastor Jamal Bryant, helped start or help add on to the protests, and it has been hurting Target's bottom line. But when they found out that they were one of the premier sponsors there, folks were like saying, hey, look, when you get to Essence, do not show up to the Target stand, to their booth. Don't show up to it. I'm not going to attend just because they have Target participating in there. And it's, the principle is, okay, they're our friends as long as they pay us some money. You know what I mean? So I get it. But fast forward to that. No, Lauryn Hill made headlines because she was performing at Essence Festival, and either she got on late or the set started late, but she was still on stage, and y'all, it was pushing damn near 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Now, I get it. When you having a good time, you partying. Hey, the party don't stop now. No, we still partying. Yeah, we still partying. But I don't know if y'all seen the average demographic, the age bracket that attends the Essence Fest. It's the growing and sexy crowd. Okay. So you might look at your late 30s all the way up, or even your middle-aged folks all the way up. Like, people ain't staying up until 4 a.m. Okay, not no 4 a.m. Not in New Orleans. Not in New Orleans. So no, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it because I'm curious. I'm interested in discussing this, because the sad thing is Lauryn Hill has built up a reputation of showing up late at her concerts and on stage, and even frustrating folks because they're like, she's showing up late, what is she talking about? And so it's a lot. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it here, and so much more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune in the Arrington Gavin Show. We are coming to you from all sorts of platforms, by the way. Do me a favor, if you happen to be streaming us right now on our YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, share with a friend or family. I truly appreciate it. We're growing in subscribers. Our views are growing as well. We want to keep that momentum going. We want to keep that message going as well. I want to, speaking of Essence Festival, I want to shout out our fam out in the New Orleans area, WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights on WBOK 1230 a.m. at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can also, and by the way, WBOK is one of the longest running Black-owned talk stations, radio stations in the country. So please continue to support Black media, Black-owned media, and support all the amazing programs on that station as well. I want to also shout out, moving on to the Metro Atlanta area, our listeners by way of WDJY 99.1 FM. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 time. We're available on all major podcast platforms, y'all. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. In addition to that, I mentioned you can stream us on our YouTube channel at the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also stream us on the GOATverse TV app. GOATverse TV app is free. Okay, so please do so. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, you can download it on the Google Play Store, the App Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. So multiple avenues, multiple ways you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. It's a growing independent streaming channel that brings to you great musical-based shows, debate programs, politics and pop culture like yours truly over here. And it is dope. So please continue to support independent media. And again, another Black-owned media platform. So that's right, y'all. We want to keep on giving it to you. Look, let's go ahead and start off with our fun fact before we get going with things. Today's fun fact, since I was talking about Lauryn Hill, today's fun fact, did you know that Lauryn Hill, in 1999, Lauryn became the first woman to win 5 Grammy Awards in one night, including Album of the Year for the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So again, that just this individual right here is dope. She is dope. All that in a bag of chips. She is one of the premier voices, in my opinion, in the genre. Her style, her sound, it's so dope. So that's why she continues to get, her supporters. But yeah, sometimes she gotta do better. I will say that she has to do better. But we'll talk a little about it more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere.
What's up, y'all? Welcome.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new GOATverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GOATverse TV.
GOATverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create. From weddings to corporate events and everything in between, we specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Hey, what's happening, fam? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's get it going with our first headline of the day. So I want to talk about hip-hop politics. What I mean by that is hip-hop politics is there's been so many individuals in the hip-hop community kind of getting their hands in politics, some for the good, some for the bad. Folks that I highly admire is folks like Killer Mike. He is I don't look at him as like a politician, I look at him more as an activist, but he is somebody that keeps elected officials accountable. He speaks highly about the importance of local government, set aside from what happens on the federal level. But that's just one individual I can speak of. We had Uncle I can't think of my man's name to save my life. Oh, I'm blanking it. But fast forward, we've had folks like 50 Cent kind of getting involved in the political scene, and really just as a critic, not as somebody that's thinking about running. But he has obviously been seen as a guy that just he loves the money. He's all about the money. That's all that matters. And so there's another gentleman that's similar to 50 Cent, Nelly. Okay, now I've already kind of criticized Nelly in the past before. I had the opportunity to speak with I shared his story with my good friend Miss Yaya, who was on the program not too long ago. Actually the last show, and last couple shows, I believe. And I was just sharing how stop deflecting the fact that, dude, you just wanted to perform for the money. It was all about the money. That's all you care about. Just say that. But don't kind of have a temper tantrum because people call you out for performing for Donald Trump, because let's be honest, what has he done for black people? Please do not give me that whole, well, he's raised a lot of money for HBCUs. Well, then here you go. Joe Biden gives more than Donald Trump. Okay. And once again, throwing money at the black community does not, or HBCUs does not make you an almighty savior. And like, oh, see, now I'm good with the blacks. That's why I'm good with them now. I'm good. They're my friends. No. Come on, give me a break here. So, long story short, I'm not going to talk really too much on Nelly. Just the fact that, hey, look, Nelly just admitted you did it for the bag, and stop don't say that you didn't endorse the president, but yet you criticize one of the candidates in the candidate Kamala Harris. Don't do that, bro. That's you're basically saying I ain't endorse nobody, but I do support one of the candidates. Give me a break, dude. But also, I want to bring up 50 Cent again, because 50 Cent recently, being a New Yorker, 50 has shared why he prefers, he is not a big fan of the Democratic nominee, Zohran Mamdani, and he literally is shared his frustration with him so bad. The fact that this man has offered, I think he's offered either Mamdani 300,000 or that's exactly what it is. I'm reading this article right here from Vibe. It says 50 offers Zohran Mamdani a payout and a first-class one-way flight to leave New York City. Now, aggressive, yes. 50 has shared his opinion of State Representative Zohran Mamdani after the 33-year-old. Obviously, he has currently been named the Democratic candidate after winning the Democratic primaries that had a packed race, might I ask. So you have Zohran Mamdani, you have the incumbent Mayor Eric Adams, who's now running as an independent. You now have Andrew Cuomo entering the independent ballot, and you have a repeat nominee in Curtis Silva, a conservative talk radio host in New York City, founder of the Guardian Angels. And so 50's not a fan of the recently been deleted off of Instagram, but the rapper offered Mamdani a lump sum of cash and travel fare to leave the city. A screenshot that was uploaded and reported on by Complex. So quote here says, "Where did he come from?" Question. The whose friend is this? The video he uploaded featured Mamdani speaking on the Breakfast Club about his proposed tax policies. I'm not feeling this plan. No, I will give him he said $258,750 and a first class one-way ticket away from New York. I'm telling Donald Trump what he said to I'm gonna tell Donald Trump what he said too. Okay, because he's so buddy with Donald Trump, and I'm pretty sure I think 50's publicly been a supporter of Donald Trump. Let's see here. While speaking with the Breakfast Club, Mamdani explained his tax policies and even named drop the rapper in his commentary. Okay, so he's responding to prior to that as well, because we all know 50 is a troll. Says here, what I propose is we raise $10 billion to pay for our entire economic agenda, and start to Trump-proof our city, because we know he'll use federal funding as leverage over the city, and we will do so in two key ways. The first is to match the state's top corporate tax rate to the New Jersey's. The second is taxing the top 1% of New Yorkers. We're talking about people who make $1 million a year or more, taxing them by a flat 2% tax rate increase. I know 50 Cent is listening. He's not going to be very happy about this. He tends to not like the tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. This is about $20,000 a year. Okay, all right. Cuomo had called Mamdani and congratulated him on the victory. Andrew Cuomo, that is, former New York governor. However, the race will be officially decided by ranked choice voting. But they've already spoken. Because this is a previous article that I've read here. But here's something that's interesting. So the big question is, man, why has Mamdani been so heavily criticized by folks, right? Why has he been so criticized? So here's what I pulled up here. Mamdani, he's grounded in democratic socialism. He advocates for bold policies like rent freezes, fare free transit, universal child care, and city-owned grocery stores. Now, some folks appreciate that, right? You already have folks in Congress and Senate. Congresswoman AOC is backs that proposal. Bernie Sanders, U.S. Senator out of Vermont, he's all for that as well. But one thing why folks are really backing him up, or really just becoming more of a fan of Mamdani, is that he's 33 years old. His energy level, his unfilteredness, he's easy for young people to get behind. Folks are saying, should he be the face of the Democratic Party? You need somebody to just bring. It's all about energy level. It's not really nowadays on the too much of the direct policy, even though that's an important thing. But folks like saying we need the energy. We need the, like, you need to look like a winner and not just like a recycled individual. Like, I mean, you got to look the part. He's even being compared to former New York Governor Patterson, as well as Trump's 2016 style immobilizing frustrated voters. So he has been liked by a lot of folks. And then on top of that, look at the demographic in New York City, right? New York City is a very liberal city. So obviously they're going to lean more towards that strong blue. Now he is progressive. Now you see how it was quite easy for a guy like Eric Adams to win because he was a former police officer. He was more moderate, so he could gather up independent votes. Even some Republican voters could back by him. Curtis Sewell, hey, he was a conservative talk radio host, right? Who can really take a show host seriously, right? But here's a clip that I want to share with you all, where a reporter had asked, and this was on NPR. Let me play the soundbite for you, because this is one thing I did not quite, I didn't like from Mamdani. Let me go ahead and play this clip for you all.
You didn't believe that billionaires had the right to exist. Redistribution of wealth, where you take money from these billionaires and give them to Americans who make less.
I was speaking about the stark nature of income inequality in this city and in this country. And ultimately, I think the better question is whether working people have the right to exist. Because what we've seen in this city is that more and more working people are being pushed out. And the vision that I'm speaking about, it's a vision that I want everyone to enjoy and benefit from, including billionaires. And I say this often, both in meetings and also in conversations, that though my taxes that I'm proposing are ones that would be on the top 1% of New Yorkers, on the most profitable corporations, it's not taxes that will detract from their life. It's in fact taxes that will benefit everyone across the city, including those who are being taxed. And we need a better quality of life for all New Yorkers. And ultimately, this is not an interest in taxation in and of itself. It's an interest in finding revenue to pay for something that will transform life in this city.
So you weren't proposing that your policies would ultimately lead to a New York with no billionaires?
No, that's not what I was proposing.
So to me, I heard different, right? I heard different. I heard kind of like he's not a fan of, billionaires, or there shouldn't be such thing as billionaires. I hear him. I totally understand where he's coming from, and when he kind of he probably realized that was a kind of a iffy thing to say, so he kind of hurried up and rewind. What I meant to say was, and I think that's where he got caught up in, because there's been so many reporters that has repeated that question, saying, hey, look, you quoted that such. And here's the thing, it's going to be difficult for him in New York City. Why? Because New York City is, I believe, either the number one or second most wealthiest city in the United States. So now if he was running for a higher office, maybe, but you're running for the mayor of New York City, a position that, guess what, a billionaire had held before. Mike Bloomberg was the mayor for how long? That man is worth billions with a capital B. So New York City is about money. So look, he's coming from, he was a state rep, right? He was a state rep. He's coming from a state position to a city position. Now, don't get me wrong, New York City is a large city. Once you're the mayor of New York City, you're more popular than the state governor, in my opinion. But I think when it gets closer towards election day for him, is he going to have to simmer down some of his take on things? That's my question. Will he have to simmer down some of his takes on things? Will he have to simmer down some of his progressive views, at least for if he wants to win and become the next mayor of New York City? It will be interesting. Let me see here. All I can tell you is that he has a loyal progressive base eager for radical reform. But hey, he has been outspoken, an outspoken pro-Palestinian views, provocative rhetoric, radical policy agenda has alarmed some centrist Democrats. So who would get that support? Because here's the thing. When he was running it during the primary, he did not receive any support from the establishment Democratic Party, right? Hakeem Jeffries is not backing him up. You had James Clyburn did not, South Carolina rep did not support him. So many folks supported Andrew Cuomo, which in my mind I thought was silly, because for one, you force a guy to resign, and now all of a sudden he tries to make a comeback and everybody's backing him up like nothing, like he never left. So that's where the Democratic Party is really, back and forth, trying to win elections. Now, in my opinion, what does the people say? What are the people talking about? Who is supporting him? Talk to New Yorkers, talk to people that live in New York City, and ask them, how do you feel about Mamdani? What's your thoughts on him? If the majority is backing him up, then look, you have to push whoever is already in a lead, push that momentum. He's even struggling, obviously, from the conservative groups, moderate voices within his own party, even Jewish advocacy groups are saying, I'm not crazy about Mamdani. So I think it'll be a hard sell for him. Now, it'll be interesting. Will an independent candidate win this election? Again, I told you, incumbent Eric Adams is going to be running this year as an independent for mayor of New York City. Andrew Cuomo has entered in the independent ballot, or would they go with Curtis Silva? I mean, Curtis is, I would say, as one of those as good as it gets Republicans. Why? Because he is someone that I would say more moderate Republican. He's a conservative. He's a conservative talk radio host, but WABC is not. I wouldn't consider it far right conservative, if that makes sense. They do lean right, but not far right like others. They have a couple of questionable cats on their station. I'm not going to call out any names, but he has been a fixture in the New York City community for years. Again, this guy's just 33 years old. Curtis Hill was, I think, almost 70 years old. But what is it his chance? I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting case, y'all. It's going to be an interesting race, in my opinion. But let me move on to our next story, y'all. We want to keep on in politics. I want to talk about Elon Musk. So, as I mentioned earlier, he is announced that he will be, or he has launched a new political party. Listen to this soundbite real quick, and we'll talk on the other side.
We have some big news right now. Elon Musk is becoming a major thorn in the side of Republicans. He just announced the formation of a new political party that will make it harder for Republicans to win key battleground elections across the country. Musk says, by a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom. The America Party, well, it's going to challenge Republicans and Democrats in 2 to 3 swing Senate seats and 8 to 10 swing House seats. Those are enough to give either party the majority. The people that are going to be voting for the America Party are not people voting for Democrats. They're people that are traditionally voting for more hardline conservative Republicans who will now have another option in these elections to the extent they can form this party and get people on the ballot. All that remains to be seen. But he is becoming a major thorn in Trump's side right now. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack.
So okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this party. So it's the America Party. All Elon Musk is doing is picking on the Republicans, mainly Trump, picking on him with his with his money, right? He's saying, look, you coming after me, I can do whatever because I'm worth almost $300 billion, okay, and counting. When it comes, first of all, there's so many political parties that has started ever since, in my opinion, since Donald Trump has entered into politics. There's been so many parties that has started. One that I can think of just off the top of the dome is the Forward Party. That was started up by former presidential candidate Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang also ran for, was a candidate for New York mayor, did not win, but he has still been an advocate to stay in politics. He has founded the Forward Party. Now, the Forward Party is they have mostly Democrat. It's an organization built up of Democrats and Republicans into one, the Forward Party. Why? Because you want to start moving forward and not going backwards. We want to just continue to do what's best forward for the country and not this whole back and forth. Now, to talk more about this, it says here Elon Musk claims to have formed a new political party, but even the world's richest person could face some insurmountable challenges with the new venture. Experts have warned, despite leading the Department of Government Efficiencies in Donald Trump's administration for about 4 months, Musk has publicly split from the president as of lately. Most recently criticizing the Big Beautiful Bill, which, yes, the Big Beautiful Bill will hurt close to 17 million folks at a loss of health care. And there's actually graphics I reposted on our social media that they share exactly how many folks this will be affecting in each of the 50 states. So I'll be posting that very soon for you all. But recently, the billionaire on his platform that he owns said that he is forming a new political party, the America Party. Musk has detailed how the new party will infiltrate the country's long-standing two-party system. I quote, it says, one way to execute on this would be a laser focus on just 2 of 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts, giving the razor-thin legislative margins that would be enough to serve as the deciding vote on continuous laws. Now, ensuring that they serve the true will of the people, Now, fellow billionaire Mark Cuban and Trump's former White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci have encouraged the idea, but history and institutional barriers suggested it would be unlikely that the American Party will succeed. The third party movements in the U.S. have generally arisen out of some sort of set of deep city grievances. Now, Alan Aberowitz, a political science professor at Emory University, told CNN recently it was not just some wealthy person who decided, hey, they wanted to start a third party. The Democratic and the Republican parties aren't the only ones to exist, but history shows alternatives party candidates failed to gain traction in the presidential elections. Even prominent independent Senator Bernie Sanders caucus with Democrats. This is very true because people forget that Bernie Sanders is actually a registered independent. He's the only independent in the U.S. Senate. Now, there have been folks who have left parties while they're in office, but they got elected. They got elected as one. See, Bernie has been independent through and through. But when you have folks who say, hey, look, I want to run as independents, even on a local level, y'all, it's extremely hard for independent candidates to win seats. Why? Because it's all about backing, support, funds, X, Y, and Z. Folks have ran as either Republicans or candidates. Why? Because it's a lot easier to get that support. And what kills me though is that majority of Americans are independent, like voters. Like they really are. If you actually give them a survey, they're probably gonna pass it as an independent voter. But for some reason, those independent voters will still say, okay, by election day, I'm gonna lean Republican. So, I'm gonna vote for the Democrat. So it's always interesting to me. Now, for example, Jill Stein served as the Green Party's presidential candidate in 2012, 16, 20, and 2024. Now, in 2024, she earned close to 630,000 votes, but no electoral votes. Then there's Ross Perot, who ran as an independent in 92 and 96. Now, during his first run, he garnered 19% of the popular vote, but still didn't earn any electoral vote. Now, I had on, during the last election cycle, I had on a libertarian presidential candidate, Chase Oliver. Now, Chase Oliver, he came, I believe, in like fourth or fifth. So you had Trump won, you had Kamala, then it was RFK. I think he might have came before Jill or right after Jill, but his name was on 47 ballots out of the 50 states. Still quite good, but no cigar for him. Perot did amazingly well. This is reported by Washington Post here. This is quoted by a professor out in Georgetown University, Hans Knoll. He said Perot did amazingly well, but he didn't come in first in any state. And the way the Electoral College works, that means he got absolutely nothing. Okay. The most successful third-party candidate in U.S. history was none other than the first president. Excuse me, the former president Theodore Roosevelt. After serving in office as a Republican, he ran again in 1912 as a Progressive Party candidate, garnering 88 electoral votes. He lost to Democratic Woodrow Wilson. More recently, in 1968, George Wallace, who ran as an American independent candidate, earned 45 electoral votes. Republican Richard Nixon won 301 votes. Now, following Musk's announcement, some also had pointed to more recent examples of third-party runs like the No Labels Party, okay, which failed to find a centrist candidate to take on Donald Trump or Joe Biden in the 2024 presidential race. Now, I remember when the No Labels Party had started, it was rumored for a split second they might reach out to West Virginia U.S. Senator Joe Manchin, because Joe Manchin had always been kind of like the outsider Democrat within his own party. And then eventually he, said he's not seeking re-election. Then guess what? He ended up leaving the Democratic Party. So he's now a registered independent. Same goes for the senator out of Arizona, Kristen Sinema. She left the Democratic Party and now she's a registered independent. So there's a list of them that have said, hey, look, I'm going independent. I can't do the whole two-party system anymore. But even they're saying Musk resources alone may not be enough to secure a new political party due to donation limits. Now, one very wealthy individual cannot capitalize a new national political party. The way he might start a business because of federal contribution limits, former FEC chair Lee Goodman told CNN, the prospect of a wealthy founder seed funding a national party to participate in federal elections around the country is not feasible in current regulatory systems. Now, the funny thing is about this, I'm like, first of all, you have somebody that's not a U.S. born citizen, but who is the wealthiest man in America and in the world, is starting a party called the America Party. I just thought that was just quite interesting. And not saying, because he is a U.S. citizen, or I guess he might have like dual citizenship, I'm assuming, because he's really from South Africa. So I just think it's interesting. That's all. I think it's even more interesting the fact that you go from him, taunting and and parading around with the MAGA hat, and now he's like wiping the hat with his butt in a sense, right? Like it's humorous to me. It's very funny to me. Now we all know Musk may have spent more than $250 million of his own money helping Trump get elected during the last cycle. That's another thing. I'm so tired of folks that says now that he's in office, I kind of regret supporting him. Like even Joe Rogan is like, out of all people, I'm like, man, don't give me that bull. Don't give me that, because at the end of the day, you're slightly happy he's in. You're slightly happy he's in. He's the guy you endorsed. He's the guy you voted for. So you can't criticize him now. Your ass was the one that voted him in. I don't know where I went with that, but I just had to get that out. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who apparently him and Musk had a little falling out too, took a dig at Musk's new party announcement, telling CNN's Dana Bash recently that the principles of Doge were very popular. I think if you look at the polling, Elon was not. Very funny, very funny. Now my question to you all is, do you think that this will eventually work? Do you think this third party will be popular? The America Party. Do you think so? I'm curious. I am actually looking up as we're talking. I'm looking up all the political parties that we have. Okay, so obviously the two main ones, Democratic, Republican Party. You have the Libertarian Party, Green Party, Constitutional Party, the Reform Party. Okay. You have the Party of Socialism and Liberation. You have Socialist Party USA. There's like 15 freaking different parties. I know you have something called the People's Party. You have the Alliance Party, America Independence Party. I told you had the Forward Party as well. There's a lot of parties. There's a lot of political parties in the US, but yeah, I'm curious to see who will go along and work with Elon Musk on this new venture. Because see, Elon Musk made a lot of enemies when he started to support Donald Trump. So I'm curious. I'm very curious. It's easy. I don't want to say it's easy, but we're seeing a lot of folks who are leaving and just becoming independents. And possibly, does that mean you even need to start a party? Why don't you just build up the independent party? Because technically, a libertarian is a third party, but a libertarian is a libertarian. They're not an independent. They're a libertarian. You have libertarian values. I think right about now it's just you need to just build up the independent party. That's just my opinion, y'all. That's just my opinion. But I am going to be curious on the growth of this new party started by Elon Musk. Let's see if it's going to become successful like like I don't know any other stuff he's ever touched. Let's see how this goes. My friends, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Do not go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new GoVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Hey, Dad, want to go for a walk?
Well, that'll help me get my steps in for the day. Gotta stay healthy and strong.
Bet you're healthier than me.
I'd like to keep it that way. Doc says I need to walk 10,000 steps a day. How long is that?
Don't know. How about you tell me a story instead of counting steps?
I could tell you about the house my father and uncle built for us.
That's a couple of thousand steps right there.
Staying connected keeps you going strong. Learn ways to stay happy, active, and independent at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Let's get it going with this recent Essence concert, Essence Fest. So as I mentioned earlier, that the show ran late, and I'm talking it ran damn late. Okay, it ran late. All right. So let me go ahead and read you this from NOLA.com. It says here that Lauryn Hill closed the 2025 Essence Fest first night at 3:37 a.m. The Superdome was empty, so the entire night they said, which featured Maxwell, Babyface, and the Isley Brothers and Glorilla, ran late. Okay, so who fumbled the bag? That's why I'm curious. Who fumbled the bag? It says here that let's see. Hitmaking R&B producer, songwriter, and songwriting and singer Kenneth Babyface confessed that he was tired as hell. Okay, what does that mean? He wasn't nearly as tired as the handful of hardy souls who stuck around to see both Maxwell and Lauryn Hill after him. It was nearly 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning when Hill, who's quietly added to an already overstuffed opening night lineup just 2 days prior, finished her show. 2 days prior, okay. By then, the Superdome, which was never more than half full at any point, was essentially empty. Now it ranked it ranked as one of the latest nights in the 31 history of Essence Fest, and unlike two infamously late Essence evenings years ago, this one wasn't Maxwell's or Hill's fault, at least not entirely. Okay, so it says here that the entire night ran behind schedule, starting with I don't know which group this is, but it started with Pasirin, the contemporary R&B trio. Hope I pronounced that right. That opened the show. Lucky Day, Coco Jones sang over pre-recorded tracks during the inconsequential sets. The Memphis rapper Glorilla, the fourth of 8 acts on the main stage. That was at least 2 acts too many. Finished 45 minutes after the Isley Brothers were scheduled to start. Okay, so finished 45 minutes after they were scheduled to start. Okay, Glorilla in a, I'm not gonna, I don't know why they have to describe the attire she wore. The Isley Brothers seemed determined to make up for the night's lack of live bands up to that point by cranking the volume to distortion levels. The bludgeoning and overexertion that lady then settled down a bit for footsteps in the dark. Okay. Ronald Isley, in his 7th decade of fronting the band, now sports a close-cropped white beard. He spent part of the set sitting down, as he should. Shoot, he performed years and years. He deserves to sit down. But he still executed authority, looking sharp in his executed. Yes. Okay. They're giving me descriptions. I'm trying to see here. Why did it start late? What turned out to be a solid, unmarkable 40-minute set by Maxwell commenced at 12:55 a.m. Goodness gracious. So it looks like when Maxwell gears cleared and Hill set up by 2:04 a.m. Like, who does that, y'all? Who does that? Like, I get it. You're having a full-on festival, but does festival, like, do they normally last that long? Like, I've been to festivals. I don't think we've ever finished at 4 a.m. Now, I'm gonna tell you who fumbled the bag, in my opinion. Whoever was the I'm going right to it. Essence organizers. The Essence organizers did not mention any of this to organizers did festival fans. Too bad. Hold on, let me rearrange this because they messed up how they're forming this one. Essence organizers did festival fans, not to mention Superdome ushers, security guards, or stage crew, a huge disservice by scheduling Hill so late, then letting the show run even later. In such circumstances, what was the value of having Lauryn Hill? Thank you. That's the big question. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. If she was added 2 days prior to the actual show, and like they said, why she couldn't just extend it to the next day, move every show the next day, but you wanted to compact everybody all in one, at least those shows just in the first night, and Lauryn Hill started setting up at 2 a.m. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, that ain't no. If I was a worker there, I would be highly pissed. Highly. Because they still have to get there tomorrow. And I'm assuming they probably have to get there much earlier. So I don't understand. I really don't understand. Says here that there was some controversy going into the 2025 Essence Fest when fans learned that the revised super lounge stage, a small intimate secondary stage on the dome's second level, would only be available to attendees who bought premium VVIP, 2 V's, not 1 VVIP tickets. But as Hill held court on the main stage in the wee hours, the whole Superdome felt more like a super lounge. I bet it did. I can't understand performing, y'all. I cannot understand performing until, not even performing, like, you're at an event, you're having a good time until, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say, hey, you're getting your money's worth. Because I remember going to the last big concert I went to was the reunion tour with Kurt Franklin, Fred Hammond, Yolanda Adams, the Clark sisters, Marvin Sapp, and Kiara Kiki Shear. Right, wonderful concert. Concert started, I want to say, at least at it might have started at 7. I'm gonna say 7:30. Show wasn't over until like about midnight. I was like, oh, just like church when they say, give me 5 more minutes, church, give me 5 more minutes. He kept us out. They kept us out. But look, what I appreciated was that, hey, at the value of the tickets, they really gave you a full-on show, right? So you could say folks made sure they got their full-on show. They got to see Lauryn Hill, this and the other. But I do think that it was quite irresponsible and not. It wasn't smart business, in my opinion. For one, you added her on 2 days prior, and if y'all know that it would have been going later, or if she came on late, then just add her to another day. But not. I don't know. That I believe is too much. But hey. At least she, I mean, did she show up on time or did she show up late? I don't know. I do not know. But initially I was assuming that she might have been the main reason why why people were leaving, because like I said, Lauryn had a reputation of showing late on her stage. So I just assumed, I'm like, what's she do now? But it looks like it wasn't her fault. Looks like it was the organizers at Essence, which Essence is gonna have a lot of at least leadership is going to have some criticism, obviously, set aside from this, but Target being one of the sponsors, having a set there, really kind of frustrated a lot of folks. This is going through social media. This is not coming from me. This is just through what I've seen on reports, being shown, articles, social media stories, the whole 9 yards. I'm looking at my time. I don't think I have enough time to share my next story, but I will say, y'all, that let me see. Do I have some time? I might have a little time. Let me go ahead and see if I can mention this last minute. So I don't know if y'all heard about this, but Chuck E. Cheese has announced that they are starting a adults version, an adults version of Chuck E. Cheese. So let me go ahead and see if I can bring this up for you real quick.
Tonight's trending stories. Chuck E. Cheese isn't just for kids anymore. The iconic arcade chain is launching a spinoff aimed at adults.
Yeah, I think we're all headed that way because we've been talking about it in the commercial break. Chuck's Arcade, featuring a mix of arcade games ranging from classics like Donkey Kong to newer hits like Halo. Right now, 10 arcades already open in malls nationwide.
What's the difference between that and Dave & Buster? Anyway.
Hopefully price. Dave & Buster's so expensive.
I'm sorry, Chuck E. Cheese. Well, some are serving food, and the Kansas City spot is even serving a small selection of beer and wine for you beer and wine lovers. Well, the company CEO says the goal is to bring in both lifelong fans and a whole new generation.
Yeah, it's a nostalgic thing, Chuck E. Cheese.
So because of time, I'll continue this on the next show, y'all. But so yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, the iconic and still long running kids arcade and restaurant, because I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese mainly for the pizza. And yeah, you got to see Chucky, you got to see Chucky play the games, all that good stuff. But now they're making one for the parents, making an adult version called Chuck's. All right, we're gonna make it Chuck's. First of all, the way Chuck E. Cheese is looking in general, Chucky looked like he left rehab or something. Chucky looked like he been on some stuff, because they showed a recent Chucky, and I'm like, Chucky, is this the vegan Chucky? Chucky thin. Chucky looks like a rat. The other one looked like a mouse. This one's like a malnourished rat. Okay, but yeah, so they're already, I think, launched some adult versions, called Chuck's. Now I'm wondering, are they going to be in close proximity to Chuck E. Cheese? Like, it's going to be like Chuck E. Cheese going to be the daycare, and hey, the parents going to go over to Chuck's. Y'all have a good time. We're going to have our fun while y'all have your fun too. It will be interesting. I think that's a good way to keep, hey, see if that will benefit Chuck E. Cheese, because in my opinion, Chuck E. Cheese has been looking kind of bare. At least the ones in my hometown areas, they look kind of bare. So there's so many other alternatives to take kids to have a good time and whatnot. So I thought that was interesting when I saw that. Out of all, in 2025, you now see Chuck E. Cheese wanting to let the parents have some fun, which is good, because parents like to go out and have a good time, have some pizza, play some arcade games, right? But like the anchor woman, the journalist said, hey, what's the difference between that and I'm sorry, I think that one of the journalists had said, what's the difference between them and a David Buster's, right? I mean, are they still going to have the singing, dancing Chucky and his fam? Like, I don't know, I haven't been in there so long. But anyways, y'all, look, that is my time. Please be sure to tune to the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as on all radio airwaves. Peace and blessings, y'all. Talk to you soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram. Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.